Hello, everyone. Jackson is dead, and we have replaced him with Josh.
Hey.
Hello, Josh.
Hey, pleasure
Josh.
to be here, man. Rest in peace to Jackson. I'm the other Jay.
How many times have we made that joke when Jackson can't make it? I feel like this is the 10th or 11th episode with that.
What do you mean, joke?
Yeah. He always has some excuse. He's either traveling and now he's getting hit by a natural disaster. Supposedly, he showed us some photos of baseball-sized hail.
Mangled corpses and all that, yeah.
Yeah, the entire country's weather meter just red, pure red across the entire of Australia.
We still don't believe him either.
Yeah, convenient
Conveniently.
Photoshop, I'm telling you.
Well, Josh, if you wow us, maybe he can stay in his hole, all holed up from the weather, and we'll just replace him with you.
Josh,
Josh,
I would be honored. It would still be the Jack Off podcast. My friends already pointed that out to me because I'm Jay.
that's true.
That's true.
Isn't
It would still
convenient?
stay the same.
It is a very, very interesting coincidence there. Not that we've considered this or anything.
All right, I'm convinced.
Josh, thanks for coming back on. So welcome back to episode 205, I think, of the official podcast. We're having on, again, Josh Pillault. You were first on in episode 168. For anybody who would like to check that out, you've become a fan favorite, known as the guy who went to prison. I almost said went
The
to
guy who
RuneScape
went to
prison.
RuneScape for prison. Yeah.
Which to some people might sound like a worse punishment, but you went to prison because you made some, you talk shit on RuneScape and the FBI really didn't like that, and then you went to prison for a couple of years. And now
Yes,
you're back.
sir.
I don't think we need to go over that backstory for too much. Again, if anybody's interested, like I said, we have an episode. It's a great episode. Check that one out. But Josh, you did tell me behind the scenes that you have some updates for us, or at least some new spicy info that came out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was waiting to release the information for a really long time. I had to cover myself legally before I did it. I had to, talk to some lawyers about it and stuff like that, ask what I could and could not say. So please, everybody, keep in mind that everything that I say regarding my legal case behind the scenes is alleged. I'm not saying for a fact that it happened. I'm just reminding everybody that this is what I was told by the person who testified against me. It does not mean it's true. It does not mean that the FBI made any mistakes in my case. I'm not saying the prosecutor broke the law. I'm not saying that he did it. I'm saying what I was told. I'm just repeating secondhand information.
That famous word, alleged. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, just
that is a
throw
very
the word
important word.
allegedly at the end of every sentence and you're good.
Unfortunately, that's
Euphemism
pretty
for-
much what I have to do.
Supposedly may have happened. I just can't really, prove it, but wink,
Right.
wink.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I believe it. But I did just do a video on some text messages. It's the most edited video I've ever done. I actually used Sony Vegas finally and a nice camera to do it. But I broke down on-screen text messages from one of my ex-girlfriends that testified against me during my sentencing hearing all those years ago. I've maintained adamantly that my ex-girlfriends lied about me because they did testify during my sentencing hearing. I was very confused about it. And one of them allegedly, according to her, was blackmailed by the FBI. And I have her whole side of the story on the screen. As far
Allegedly.
as she told me. Yeah, allegedly she was
The
blackmailed
FBI
by the
wouldn't
FBI.
do that. No.
I wonder, but why would they? Did they really care that much about RuneScape? There's no way.
Well, the main way that I see it, man, is that, not only after I got arrested, shootings started increasing just 100-fold, man. They just started going through the roof here in America, it was like every week something was happening. Not to mention there was public outcry over my incarceration, and they looked really stupid. Everybody was like, why is this teenager locked up in jail and with no evidence, no weapons in his home, no drawings, no plans, no money, no guns, nothing. I was the only house in Mississippi that didn't have a gun. I said that last time I was on the podcast. And they, they looked really stupid, and they will go to any lengths to save face and look as though they're an entity that makes no mistakes. And unfortunately, I got caught in that net.
Yeah, that's what they're known
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
not making mistakes.
Yeah, I know, right? Bay of Pigs. Ollie North. Yeah, they're definitely known for not making any mistakes. But they looked for an opportunity to get me at any possible turn, and once they got some leverage on one of my ex-girlfriends, they used it very heavily on her. She allegedly had a romantic involvement with the son of one of the prosecutors. Isn't that a funny coincidence? I'm dead serious, man. Like if you watch this video, I think it'll blow your mind, man.
So when does your Netflix special come out about
Yeah.
all this?
Hopefully
Yeah, what the
soon,
fuck?
man. Hopefully soon.
What would you
'Cause
call it?
Every episode's got a fucking cliffhanger to it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know what I would call it. I'd have to leave that
This
to the
sounds like-
professionals, man.
Every Turkish soap opera I've ever seen.
It pretty much is, man, is the unfortunate part of it. And then sadly I lived it, and it was actually allegedly completely factual. I don't think those two go together. But
So
I got caught in this net that was a
this
lot bigger than me. Yeah, she
herself.
confessed it whenever I got out of prison the first time. And long story short, I really went to prison for her mistake. So the video's on my channel. It's like 2 or 3 videos ago now because it's been a few weeks, but it's called Why Did My Ex-Girlfriends Testify Against Me? And also for the people that really want to dig into my case and have a good time, the video before that was me reading passages from my psychiatric evaluation that proved, that I was not a psychopath. I was not a sociopath. I went over a lot of the testing that I received whenever I had to do my mental evaluations forcibly. Because I was submitted to 3 different mental evaluations, all of which said I was not a danger to myself or to others. I read a lot into that. So there's a lot more hard evidence now about my case that's publicly exposed that wasn't out last time I was on the show.
Okay, yeah, I agree. People should go to your channel and check that out. Sounds like some spicy
would
drama
appreciate it.
going on. So, I assume that girl never suffered any consequences for lying or sleeping
A
with the
guilty
prosecutor's son.
conscience is the worst punishment.
Usually when
I
the
wish it was. Not with her.
usually when the perpetrator's girlfriend sleeps with the prosecutor's son, the perp gets a sweet deal out of it, right? It's
Yeah, you would think so.
yeah.
They
Instead,
tried to keep this
somehow,
very hushed up.
not only did the prosecutor's son get laid, but it's also fucked you over even harder. How do you get that
Yeah,
fucking
his dad
deal?
got a promotion.
Allegedly.
He got some poo nanny and his dad got a promotion. Everybody won except for Josh.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, the part where it gets crazy and the part that makes it worth checking out, I suppose, is that she was 18 at the time and he was 17. Federally, that's illegal. In the state, it's not. But when pictures are involved, allegedly, then it's a federal crime.
Yeah, it's child porn.
Yes, when
That is retarded.
17-year-old pictures by federal law are illegal. And let's say, hypothetically, if this girl was in possession of them, then the FBI can get involved with her. And hypothetically, if you have a federal charge against you, you can testify on other people to make it go away.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
the alleged FBI allegedly approached this girl who was just sexting with a 17-year-old boy and said, "Hey, look," and they allegedly
got you.
said, "Yeah, help us
Allegedly,
out
they
with this
said
little
we
guy
can make
over
this go
here."
away.
With this guy that we're trying to turn into an example, and maybe we'll drop the charges. Who knows?
Precisely.
make it go
Yep,
away.
exactly. And
God
this is
damn
some
it.
kind of stuff that I never would have believed actually happens had it not happened to me, if that makes sense. I was just the typical naive guy that thought, criminals go to the big house because they
No,
did something bad and they made a terrible mistake, and that's just not the reality, man.
The sexting part is the only thing that I believe does happen, and I feel like maybe that because there's so many news of like a boyfriend goes to jail because he was sexting with a 17-year-old girlfriend, and the boy is like 18.
Yep.
That shit happens so often, it seems, in America.
Well,
And I feel like maybe that's
the interesting thing. I didn't mean to cut you off, Kai, but even if the boy in that situation right there was like 16 and she was 17, it's still child porn by law.
that too.
Either
Yeah,
way, yep.
Yeah.
good point.
They'll
I mean,
still
even
just
if
charge the older person.
no, sometimes they charge a kid himself too, or
Yeah.
herself. Sometimes I've
Oh,
seen those
I guess
cases
that
too.
would be-
I've-
I was about to
I've
say
read-
distribution. Oh, God.
Yeah, I've read those cases too, where the kid themselves is charged with distribution of child porn because the kid took a dick pic at 16 and sent it to some broad. As boys do.
It goes even worse, where you can get charged for stuff that you don't even want. There was some kid who had a bunch of shit thrown at him because a classmate sent him like either a dick pic or something, and he deleted it. But they went through his phone records and they were like, "Oh, you have child porn on your phone." And
Wow.
they literally threw like a bunch of punishments at him when it was a completely unsolicited text.
This is just
Because
not how the law is supposed to work, man. It's
my
really
my
not.
favorite, dude, the law. Let's talk about the law. My favorite news ever, maybe not favorite news, but in this category at least. You guys remember when I think some boy sent some girl a dick pic, and then the police, he denied that it was his dick in the photo. So the police decided, hey, we're gonna take you to the hospital and we're gonna give you an erection, and then we're gonna look at your cock and compare the photos in
Oh
order to
my
prove that it's your
Really?
dick. Yeah. You guys remember that case? The cops,
No.
I believe
the
it,
cops officially said that they wanted to look at this kid's erect cock in order to determine, we gotta make sure Gotta make
Anybody
sure.
else on the planet asks, it's a federal crime.
Well,
of course.
Kaya, you're gonna look real stupid when it turns out that's what solves the case and proves it was his dick.
Yeah, proves it's the Zodiac killer or something.
Yeah, you're gonna feel real silly when that research comes out.
They caught him.
We did it, boys.
I wonder if I can still find this. It might be a bit of an old news article.
Yeah. While you do that, I want to ask Josh. So you saw like FBI agents in person, right?
Oh, absolutely. All over my house.
Yeah. So I always imagine FBI people to look completely different from cops, you know, where you'll see some cops that are just like super like out of shape, obese and goofy looking. I always imagine FBI to be like college chads. Were they just as goofy too, or were they like kind of
some
cool?
of them were definitely the college Chad types. And considering I live at Ole Miss, or I did live at Ole Miss, I was quite familiar with the frat boy douche types whose dad shoehorned him into a job. A lot of them were that, but the lead agent on my case looked like he would have been, if he wasn't in his early 40s, he should have been the bass player for Mumford and Sons. He had a huge beard and like knuckle tattoos, and like he just looked like
Really?
some weird. Yeah, apparently he had done a lot of undercover work in motorcycle gangs, so he was all tattooed up and stuff like that. You like, this is the kind of guy you would never guess as a cop if you looked at him. He wasn't like Farva or anything like that.
Isn't
the
that
big
good
cop
for his
stash.
job, though?
Oh, I'm assuming
isn't
so.
that a benefit?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, like I said, I think he did a lot of undercover dangerous work with motorcycle gangs and, drug gangs and stuff like that. And he definitely fit the part by his appearance. And then he got on the stand against me and was like, well, we didn't find any knives in the kitchen.
They're dangerous runescapers and Hell's Angels. Same thing. You're just looking at fucking... Meanwhile, the cops
Yeah, the
are
same
like,
guy busted us.
He has to go in undercover as a RuneScape player next.
Oh, God. He gets addicted to it, comes over to the dark side.
Yeah,
Did you
should've-
happen to see any? Sorry, Kyle,
Nah,
go
you
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just going to ask on the subject of appearances and this and that. Were any of the FBI guys like actual like agents, like men in black with like suits and sunglasses and shit? Did any of them try to intimidate you or come off as professional at all?
Not until we got to that interrogation room I told you about, where they clicked that light on me and they were like, have you ever heard of a game called RuneScape?
Oh,
Really?
I'd shit my pants if I was asked
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't all
RuneScape?
CIA'd out with like the the tux and the black glasses and all that, but they were trying to play good cop, bad cop on me, which I was familiar with from TV. And unfortunately, I mean, I was not intimidated in the least by the good cop, bad cop routine. All I did was try to tell them the truth, and I think I mentioned last time that was a terrible mistake, because as soon as I got done telling them everything, they were like, oh, we know there's more to the story, and you're going to go ahead and confess or else you're going to get extra charges. That's pretty much the only time where they were really trying to pull off this facade of we're so professional and great at our job and we're secretive and powerful. That's really the only time they did that. They tried to act like they knew where I'd been for the last week and a half, which was funny because I'd not left my mom's house in a week and a half.
Did you
Me and my
notice any
girlfriend were
fucking
holed up in my room.
vans with suspicious writing on the side, like flower wet van, just with a big satellite dish aimed at your house?
I don't think they came around. I mean, from the time that I made the threat to the time that they raided my house and I actually went to the Hooskow for the first time was only 4 days apart. I was told that they sent a local police officer to my house to ask where I was, but I don't know where he went, that he thinks he went, because I was home like that entire 4 days. I was sitting in there drinking vodka and playing RuneScape and hanging out with my girlfriend at my mom's house like an absolute unit. And, I don't know where they sent that guy or what. I don't know what kind of surveillance they had, but I do know that they followed my girlfriend when she left. She went to go pick up her little sister from daycare and drop her off at her parents' house. And so whenever they arrested me, they were like, who's the little girl that girl just picked up in the red car? And I was like, what? And they were like, the girl just picked up a little girl, like a 2-year-old girl from a daycare. Who is that? And I was like, oh my God, man, that's my girlfriend picking up her sister. Holy shit, man. Are you serious? So they obviously followed her. I'm not sure what kind of covert surveillance they did prior to that. I'm still surprised that I didn't realize they were out there until there were 100 of them.
I'm actually surprised it didn't pull your internet history and try to somehow blackmail you with your porn viewing habits or something.
They did. He said they did. Remember, they pulled all his internet history.
They pulled my internet
but-
history, but I did not have any out of the ordinary pornography searches for them to use against me. I wasn't.
Yeah, I guess
I wasn't
that's
doing
why.
anything weird. If they ever did see any of my porn searches, they were probably like, this is a very straightforward white bread kind of guy. He doesn't seem to fit our bill at all. Because you'd think that guys like that would be looking at violent stuff or something, but I wasn't that weird,
So
Nope.
I looked up this case that I just mentioned, and it's almost somehow even worse than I remember. It says the 17-year-old from Manassas City, Virginia, is being charged for manufacturing child sex abuse and possession of child sex abuse because he sent a dick pic of himself. So this boy is being
To who though?
to his 15-year-old girlfriend. let me read this for you guys. But basically, this guy was charged with child sex abuse because he sent a dick pic, as boys do. It's not abuse, guys. We play with our dicks. It's fun, actually. It's not abusive in the least. He not
Wait,
only
you do? You savage.
Ew.
I know.
God, it's
I
fucking
know.
filthy down there. What are you
penis.
doing?
He not only
Yeah,
faces
that's how you
jail
get
time.
STDs.
He not only faces jail time, but a lifetime on the sex offenders database. This was in 2014. Why? Well, he allegedly took a dick pic and sent it to his 15-year-old girlfriend. In some states, yada yada. His lawyer, Jessica Harbison Foster, has said that the boy has been told by the prosecution that if he doesn't plead guilty, they will have to issue a search warrant for pictures of his erect penis in order to prove that the video was sent. That the video sent was of his penis. His lawyer asked how this would be done, and says she was told, "We just take him down to the hospital, give him a shot, and then take the pictures that we need."
Which is child porn in and of itself.
Yeah,
It's child abuse in a way,
That's
too.
the real
Jesus.
child abuse between the two charges there.
It's called
Yeah.
justice, actually.
it's police work.
Anything
God.
for justice.
It's
Anything
police
to
work.
catch him.
Little do you
I've
know,
seen
one of the
Sherlock
FBI
Holmes.
agents is over there like on an uwu mode. Nobody knew it. Jared from Subway is the one taking the pictures. Oh my God.
Time for your shot. Okay.
Yeah, let's give him the old Viagra now. Start sweating. Knowing how the FBI is.
Fucking Jeffrey Epstein comes in the room. Hey, here's a drink.
I heard we're doing some dick
Harvey
pics in
Weinstein
here.
joins.
What's up? Pops a bottle of wine. That doesn't surprise me with the way the FBI is, man. I mean, then by nature, they're obviously in possession of it. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the same way as they're allowed to walk around with a kilo of Coke. Oh, it's evidence, you know? Oh, I just had it in the back of my car because it's evidence. And I have it in my mustache because I had to make sure it was Coke.
So retarded.
I mean, that's unfortunately the way the justice system actually works, man. I never would have guessed it. But in reality, I mean, they break the law constantly. They bend the rules and they try to apply the law in ways that was never intended to be used. You know, they use it as a weapon instead of as a punishment of any sort.
I mean, just know, as with drugs, I'm sure cops skim off the top. You know, when they catch a guy with fucking child porn, I'm sure some CDs disappear from the evidence room.
God, I can only imagine. Yeah, I mean, everything else goes missing, so why not that?
Mm-hmm.
When I went back to prison on my violation, I heard rumors that some of the, because whenever I went back, I went to a low security prison for the first time. And this was a yard that was like specifically basically set up for either people back on violation or that had sex charges or were gang dropouts, you know, like a messed up yard where they send those people so they can be protected and safe together. And I heard rumors that guys had pictures of kids in their lockers and stuff like that were brought into them by the COs. So, I mean, where there's a market, you know, supply and demand, I guess it's kind of like every prison has drugs in it. That was just their drug of choice. I mean, it's corrupt all the way from the ground up, including from the prison guards all the way up to presumably the FBI lead. And I got caught in this net, man, and I was sleeping next to these people, and I look young, man. I think I mentioned that last time. I look young. I really don't feel very comfortable around pedos, more so than probably the average person. Thankfully, they get their heads kicked in pretty much everywhere except for that prison.
Yeah, you know, as long as they, you know, are outside of the FBI, but I feel like a lot of them are in the FBI. You know, back when Jeffrey Epstein allegedly killed himself, it's kind of suspicious how they dropped all of their beans at once. You know, security guards fell asleep, security cameras failed. Somebody was screaming, but we didn't, you know, bother to check on it because, you know, we were napping, and he kind of hung himself from 2 feet height using toilet paper as a fucking noose or something. Oh, well, okay, sure.
For what it's worth, I would like to point out that COs regularly and routinely beat the ever-living shit out of pedophiles off the record, you know, with no cameras and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's what happened, obviously. I don't really know much about that case or anything, but that very well could have something to do with it. They might have gone in there and just fucked the dude up themselves, for all I know. But it's pretty common for even the cops to go in there and stomp on a pedo's head if he's bad enough.
Or maybe they fucked him up because he was a narc. Who knows? He was about to spill the beans.
Very well could be.
Well, maybe prison's not that bad, though, guys, because when you're in prison, you get to do a couple things, like you can work out. And if you're at home right now, I have something that'll help you work out. I'd like to talk about it, if that's okay.
Well, I would love to hear about it. I mean, Josh, you came out of prison and straight into lockdown, as you said before the show. So from one prison into the next, all of the gyms are, well, not all of them, but in a lot of countries now, the governments are reintroducing lockdowns yet again. We're geting them here in Europe shoved up our asses. So, a lot of us can't go to the gym, Andrew, and we're going to need some help. You can't see your, friends or workout buddies or anything. That's right. You have to
work out when I'm at home.
Without equipment. What do I do, Andrew?
Well, you could start using FitBod. Because whether you're going to the gym for the first time after it opens from this lockdown, or you've been going to the gym regularly and you are sweating like crazy waiting for those doors to open, or if you're just stuck at home and you need a routine, FitBod can help you find that routine. FitBod is a smart fitness app that takes all the guesswork out of planning your workouts. They have an algorithm that factors in your goals, experience level, equipment, workout duration, and muscle recovery to intelligently craft the perfect total body workout program just for you. The app can pick workouts tailored to your ability and has a clear, easy to follow set of instructions. It also tries to balance muscle groups to make sure that you are fully recovered for your next workout. FitBod combines the knowledge of fitness pros with a powerful machine learning algorithm that will give you maximized results. And if you happen to have no workout equipment, such as, if you're in the middle of a global pandemic and your gym is closed just to keep everyone safe, FitBod has body weight routines for those looking to stay at home and get fit, or if you just don't have a lot of time. You don't want to go all the way to the gym if it happens to be open in your area. Maybe you just want to do some squats, some push-ups, crunches, who knows. Find a routine with FitBod. And you can get a personalized routine by going to fitbod.me/official. You can try it free for 1 month when you sign up at fitbod.me/official. That's 1 free month if you work out smarter at fitbod.me/official.
By the way, if you have a Fitbit, it integrates with that shit too. So that's nice. I've been using that.
Nice.
Very convenient.
Fitbod.me.
Also, if you're a person like me who gets, always paralyzed by analysis, and you always, instead of working out, you spend weeks and weeks looking for the perfect workout routine and what should I do, how should I do it, and yada yada. And before you know it, you've spent like 2 months Googling instead of doing a single push-up. Fucking stop thinking about it and just do it. Fitbod.me/official. It'll help.
Nice.
I was ready that time. That was a good transition.
Josh,
that's what I'm here for.
Last time I was like, what about kitty litter? Oh, wait, that's the stuff that my mother-in-law uses.
Oh, yeah, the pretty litter.
Yeah, she actually used that. As soon as I started talking about it, I was like, oh, that's what that stuff is. I was wondering why it was all like, it looked like the cat had cancer and stuff in there. Probably does.
Probably shouldn't say that about them on the show.
Well, what I mean is that the product works. What I mean is the product works because I think she actually took one of those cats to the vet. Oh, don't worry, it won't give you a false alarm.
I see where you're getting at. Okay, never mind.
Josh, how true is that, I guess, belief that when you go to prison, all you have to do is work out? Or all you can do is work out? I mean, did you put on any muscle in there?
I did when I was in prison, or when I was in county jail for the first 17 months, because we were trapped in a room and all I did was pretty much just do push-ups and work out, do sit-ups and stuff, and I got a lot bigger. I don't have my prison ID on me right now, but you can see that I'm significantly chunkier in it. It's from when I arrived to prison. When I got to prison, you could play guitar. So at that point, all of my physical activity stopped.
Big mistake.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I just started playing guitar for like 7 hours a day for like 3 years straight. That's all that
Jesus.
I did. I didn't.
You must rock fucking ass now.
Yeah.
I got pretty good. I studied master level music theory while I was in there because I read a whole lot of books during my time incarcerated. If I wasn't on the rec yard playing guitar, I was in my cell reading. So I took that. There was a quote, I might have mentioned it last time, that was in the Malcolm X autobiography that I read while I was incarcerated that said, turn your cell into your school and your monastery. And even though I was a very non-spiritual person at the time, I really took that seriously. And I read like 900 books approximately while I was incarcerated, and learned a lot of music theory. So yeah, it's to say that I elevated by leaps and bounds would be an understatement. But pretty much everybody, yeah, they just work out all day, every day. They go out to the rec yard every day and, do push-ups and sit-ups, and they don't let you have free weight. So it's all calisthenics. It's all pretty much exactly what you were just talking about. It's all just using your body weight to work out. And there's some absolute monsters in there. I can tell you that much. Dudes come out what they call prison ripped. You know, they got like a 12 pack and their biceps are bigger than my head and they're massive. And that's how they got their dopamine while they were in there, especially the guys that don't do drugs or anything. You know, pretty much all they have is working out. If you don't play instruments, you don't do drugs, they're working out.
But that means that they're also eating very well then, because you can't just work out and get like that. You need to be fueled with like good substance. So do you actually have like good food in there?
Not really, but you can get protein packed stuff off of the commissary, like mackerel packs. You know, they do sell protein bars at a lot of prisons. Really nasty, chalky ones, but that have like 28 grams of protein and like a full ounce of protein in there. You know, and so I mean, they would normally just avoid eating the prison food except for the vegetables and just eat their own food at the unit.
So you still just go on like a diet in prison? Damn.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if you're actually trying to be healthy, you can't eat what they give you. It's pretty much inedible.
Do they have like vegan options and shit too? Like how accommodating are they?
Yeah,
What
no,
fucking
they actually
luxury
do.
prison did you hear of? Really?
No, they're legally required. They're legally required to have
for
an
religious
option.
reasons?
Yeah, exactly. It's for religious people, Rastafaris, Muslims, you know, people that have religious diets that therefore they can't eat pork or they can't eat, you know, this or that. They just make it all one. So they have vegan, vegetarian, no fish, no flesh, no blood, kosher. You get the main option, and you get that horrible abomination of a second option, the religious meal, which is normally just like a scoop of cream cheese or something like that. It's terrible. It's terrible, man. It's like vegan cream cheese with like some crackers, and it is the nastiest.
I'm imagining like 2 school lunch trays. The first one has like, some turkey, some gravy, a little bit of corn, whatever. Not great. But then the second one is just every single slot is filled with cream cheese.
That's basically what it is. Oh shit! I meant to say cottage cheese. My bad. I meant to say cottage cheese. Same thing to me. I didn't eat that.
Some big buff monster walking up to this like vegan meal. Like, you gonna eat that?
You gonna eat that cottage cheese, boy? Let me get that cottage cheese. All right. Here, you can have it. Holy shit! And then they give you like the plainest piece of cake ever. That's pretty much like a biscuit with some sugar in it, you know, and that'll be your side. And then you can get juice that is red, blue, or yellow and tastes like water no matter what color it is. So I'll go in there with like a soda in my pocket. You bring your own drink, you know, get some ice out of the machine, and then you get, you know, some spaghetti with bugs in it. And I made the mistake of getting
protein,
the...
you mean?
Yeah, we can call it that. I don't think that's really what it is. I don't think this stuff has any nutritional value.
Shit.
It was the food in there it's just basically inedible, and I always found that weird because presumably the cooks have to eat it too, so why would they make it so badly? But they normally just make their own food back there on the grill. They go bust out some, you know, some bacon and some bread and fry themselves up like some like egg, cheese, and bacon sandwiches, and they sell them out the back door and stuff like that. And it's yeah, they get to eat nicely because they work in the kitchen.
Do you remember?
I'm mostly a commissary myself.
Do you remember what your first meal was when you got out?
When I got out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first time I went straight to a sushi joint with my grandparents.
That is a great call.
That was the very first thing, and it was a branch of my family that is none too fond of other cultures. I am from Mississippi. I would like to remind everybody. And that particular branch of my family that came to get me, they don't really care much for outsiders and, you know, foreigners and all that jibber jabber. And they were sitting there. My uncle was actually griping about me picking sushi. He was over there like, man, all the food that they got in damn Birmingham, because we were in Birmingham, stopped there on my way to the halfway. I was like, I got all this food here in Birmingham, man. You gonna pick sushi, man? What in the world,
was
man?
It Boomhauer
He's over there eating
King
cottage cheese.
Yeah, was it Boomhauer?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I hate to say it,
Dang old
pretty much.
sushi there.
Yeah, man, dang old man, fried chicken, damn old side of fried chicken, fried biscuit.
Importing all that fish from that other sea island, man. That nation of Japan, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I am from Mississippi, and I would like to briefly point out that Mike Judge is a genius, and he's really good at the way that he makes fun of people because it's pretty accurate. And so we went to an Asian buffet. I got an absolute stacked plate of sushi. I have to admit, though, that I wasn't very hungry. My nerves were popping like crazy. I was really on edge and anxious and felt really, really weird and I had a lot of crazy emotions going on. It had been 5 years at that point since I've been in society. And my uncle's over there with like a scoop of mac and cheese that he found on one of the bars, you know. And that was the first thing that I smashed, and I was very it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. It was some cheap corner buffet sushi, you know, and it was just out of this world for me. It was one of the best meals I've ever eaten in my entire life. And I had not spoken to or seen any of this branch of my family the entire time that I was incarcerated. None of this particular branch of my family had reached out to me in any way, but they all wanted to show up on the day that I got out. And I love them and all that, man. But I just had a lot of anxiety going on. It's really hard for me to describe getting out and how weird it was. Another thing that I just put on my YouTube channel a few weeks ago was the actual footage of the first time that I got released from prison when my grandparents came to get me.
Oh, did they vlog it?
My grandmother was filming it, yeah. And so
like a
you can see the
graduation.
very first time, basically, yeah. I graduated from prison. Congratulations, you're a loser. And my grandfather handed me his iPhone, and my mom was on FaceTime, and you can hear me in the video be like, "So this is what we do now? You can just see people like this? This is crazy." And my mom had sent like she was using like one of the Animoji filters or whatever after a minute, and I was freaking out. I was like, "How the hell do they do this? How are you a giraffe right now? It's moving with your head. I don't get it. I don't understand." And so I was really overwhelmed, man, and I felt really anxious. I still get a little anxious going in places with a lot of people, because one thing that people can learn from prison is how to move when there's a shit ton of people in a very small space. That's something I've found that the average person does not know how to do. Every time I get in Walmart, people are cutting you off or trying to bump in front of you, and they don't know how to move. In prison, you have to know how to move with that many people in a small space and be respectful.
That's perfect, because I always want to send those people to prison too. Anytime I have to walk in a busy street, where, these days it doesn't exist anymore because of the fucking virus. But back in the day, that especially, so my worst just foe in life is when a bunch of them are walking hand to hand. So it will be like 5 people side by side taking up the whole sidewalk, and then one of them just randomly stops. Don't you love those people? The random stoppers.
A wall
just
of
they're
people.
staring at their phone, randomly stops.
Yep. Just a wall of humans that you have to try and get around. Now the burden's on you.
Prison. There you go. Perfect.
If they did go to prison, it would fix it. Trust me.
I trust you wholeheartedly. I'll take your word for it. I was entirely on the idea even beforehand, and now I have the expert opinion. Now I'm even more convicted in my opinion that they need to be thrown in a fucking slammer. Fuck
Just
me.
yell it at them next time. Next time you get a jam up, be like, "You're going to prison, motherfucker."
So Josh, is
That
there
shit is
That's a good
anything
idea for
actually?
Kaya.
Is there any option? Not option, but is there anything you miss from prison?
No, the funny thing is I get asked that more often than you would probably think. I cannot honestly say that there's anything that I miss. There are certain things that I've become accustomed to that you don't really notice the lack of, I mean, you don't notice it until you don't have it anymore. For example, people knowing how to move. I mean, that's obviously a benefit. But while I can't say that I ever missed anything, that I don't miss anything, there are times during my prison sentence where things were going really smoothly. The days were flying by, and I had a few good friends, and I was going to band practice a lot and stuff like that, where you kind of almost have like, it's going to sound weird, man, but almost like a sense of nostalgia for it. Not in the same way as like nostalgia when you were a kid, like, oh, if only I could go back to that. But it's more like you look back and you go, that point in time right there wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
The
it's just
human
what-
brain craves routine and structure, and when you get used to that kind of thing, no matter how shitty it is, you're going to kind of have some sort of like longing for it or, comfort in it.
Exactly. And at that
totally
point in time, things are
understandable.
going really well. And I had 2 very good friends, one of whom just started a YouTube channel. He's got like 100 subscribers. He was the drummer in my band, and he's doing really well now. And I can't say that I miss it, man. I definitely wouldn't go back to it for anything in this world. I mean, you could not pay me enough money to go live that again for 3 months.
That's probably fair. Yeah, it makes sense.
But it was
I don't
chill,
think I would
though.
either.
It was chill. I can look back and I'm like, man, those were good guys. We were having a good time. There were a lot of laughs and stuff. I mean, you really got to learn.
You
like,
fucking Stockholm syndromed yourself.
pretty much, yeah. It's a pretty severe case of Stockholm syndrome. Not necessarily my case because I don't want to go back. I'm married now and I got a baby and stuff. You know what I mean? There's nothing that's going to tear me away from this, but at the same time, you can look back and recognize when things were going smoothly and how easy that time was to do, especially compared to later parts in your sentence. If things were tense or there was like, 2 gangs were having problems and you didn't know if things were going to pop off at any second or anything like that, you can look back at the times that were good and be like, man, we sure did have fun. You really got to learn. You really learn a lot about how like friendship will get you through stuff like this, and having a couple of guys that are on the same kind of time as you, that you get along with, that you genuinely care about and actually have a good friendship with, just makes it so much better, man. And I do miss those guys,
Do
Did
keep
you
in
ever
touch
have
with
like a
any of them?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, did you ever
I'll
have any
still
like
talk to a
prison
few.
talent shows?
Yeah, they do that.
Fuck yeah! Tell us like the best talent you saw at prison.
For the most part, man, it was really just like terrible, god awful rappers that thought that they were going to be famous because the FBI got after them. But it was mostly just bands, man. One guy actually jumped up when I was at FCI Butner for my for my mental evaluation in 2014. Bernie Madoff was there, the Ponzi schemer, and he was actually came to the talent show. This dude jumped up. I thought this dude was mentally ill, and I'm not convinced that he wasn't. This dude jumped up and did a freestyle scat for like 3 minutes. And everybody was digging it, dude. Everybody was bumping their head to it, like they were boogieing with it and stuff like that. This dude just jumped
Bernie
up.
Madoff went up and scat, man?
No. He was there. He watched. No.
Okay.
Bernie Madoff just sat there. That would have been the best moment of my life up until my daughter was born, if Bernie Madoff would have jumped up there and done that. But no, this dude, just some random dude, man. That was just this 40-year-old guy that was probably severely mentally ill because it was Butner, North Carolina, where they send crazy people. And he jumped up and grabbed the mic and he was like, "Well, I got something very special for you guys on this Christmas Eve." It was a Christmas Eve talent show at Butner. And he was like, "I got something very special."
For Christmas.
Yeah, he's been working on this all year. And he jumped up and grabbed that microphone and he went, "Skidoobity beat the bop boop bop bop bow," and just started scatting. Everybody was like, "Yeah, man, yeah. That's what I'm talking about."
That sounds like the coolest fucking thing that's ever happened in a prison.
Everybody was really laughing because this dude went full send. I mean, he was like squinting his face up like Cobain playing guitar, just like face twisted up, just feeling it, man, just letting that Holy Spirit out. He's speaking in tongues up there, and everybody's like, "Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about."
Fuck yeah.
Other than that, the pretty much the bulk of the talent show, as far as I'm concerned, was I played bass with a band, and then I took the bass off, set it down, picked up a guitar, and a different band got up there, and I played guitar with them, and then I set down the guitar and got on the drums, and a different band came up there because there weren't a ton of musicians, and I was the only one that played several instruments fluently, so I would just basically jump around instruments while different bands came up there. That was the fun part for me.
Show off.
Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah, really. Jesus. Maybe prison was good for you.
So Josh, do you miss
Golly, man, savage.
do you miss your
No, I
bunk?
mean, it's not like I'm
What was that
amazing at
like?
any of those other instruments. My bunk, pretty much
Yeah.
a
How are beds
standard
like in
metal,
prison?
standard metal bunk bed. Most of the time they don't come with ladders, so the younger guy by nature gets the top ladder, the top bunk, which 100% of the time was me. I think I met 3 people my entire time in the feds that were younger than me. But they normally don't have a ladder, but it's pretty standard. Now at the medium high security prisons, they lock the cells at night, and they actually have, and this is if I'm not mistaken, illegal 3-man cells. These cells were designed for 2 people, but the federal prison population, last I checked, was at 151% capacity. So they basically started bolting down an extra bed in these rooms. So there was one on the floor,
Jesus.
and then where the foot of that was the bunk bed. So you had 3 people shoved into. I mean, when you guys see the video, it's about as much space as from behind me to my wall and where my piano and my guitar amps and stuff are. Very, very small room for 3 grown men to live.
How were the
they normally didn't even
mattresses?
have a ladder. The mattresses were about maybe an inch to an inch and a half thick. You could feel your hip on the metal of the rack.
Oh, God.
goddamn.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a Helix mattress at all.
Yeah. No, let us
No.
enlighten you. Andrew, please
What's
show
a Helix
him
mattress?
Oh,
face of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, sleep is important. Comfortable sleep is important. There's a lot of things that go into a comfy sleep, such as good sheets and a nice pillow and a relaxing environment. But I think the most important thing to a good night's sleep is a nice mattress. Maybe that's why everyone in prison is so grumpy, because they're sleeping on those 1-inch thick mattresses that you were talking about. Oh, that's disgusting. It's terrible. What they should have done is used Helix Sleep to take their quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete, that'll match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Everybody is unique and Helix knows that, so they have several different mattress models to choose from. Soft, medium, firm, and mattresses that are also great for cooling you down if you sleep hot, as well as Helix Plus for plus-sized folks. If you're looking for a mattress, you can take the quiz and order the mattress you're matched to, and it'll come right to your door shipped for free. You don't ever have to go to a mattress store again. And Helix is awesome, but you don't have to listen to me at all. You can ignore what I'm saying. All you need to do is pick up a 2020 issue of GQ or Wired magazine, where they named it the #1 best mattress. And you can check it out by going to helixsleep.com/official to take their 2-minute sleep quiz and match yourself to a customized mattress that will be the best sleep of your life. Now, you're probably already leaping to your computer or your smartphone going, "Free mattress quiz? Oh my God, I can't wait." Hang on. Helix will also offer you up to $200 off of all mattress orders and 2 free pillows if you go to helixsleep.com/official. I know you can't wait to take that quiz. I know you're foaming at the mouth, salivating, running rampant, swinging your arms left and right, ready to take this sleep quiz. But don't you want $200 off as well and 2 free pillows? Absolutely. So you got to make sure that when you go to take that quiz, you go to helixsleep.com/official to take full advantage of this offer. That's helixsleep.com/official. $200 off, 2 free pillows, mattress quiz. What more could you ask for?
Excellent.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Did you hear any stand-up at the prison talent shows?
No, I actually didn't. The funniest guys didn't stand up and do it, you know, or go in front of a crowd. They'd just be the guys that were shooting the shit in the side of the cell, or, you know, clowning on people in the corner or whatever. There was no official act of comedy or anything like that. It would have taken a lot of nerve to get up in front of a bunch of convicts and try to say I'm funny. Definitely more nerve than I had. I didn't have the balls to jump up there and be like, "Hey, everybody, hey, so did you guys see that spaghetti last week?"
What's the deal with the prison food, huh?
Yeah, so what's up with this prison food? Huh? Aren't we all
They
eating
beat Daryl to death in his cell last night. Isn't that fucking hilarious?
Anybody see my knife? Oh, I guess they left it in Daryl.
How about that cavity search?
That one.
Har har. Crowd pleaser. So, okay,
Yeah,
on a more positive note, though, Josh, you're now a dad. What's that like?
Yes, I am. My little girl's about to be 6 months old. The best way that I can sum it up, man, is that all the stuff that parents and old people always told you about how it totally changes your heart was actually true. I was a very cynical guy. I always thought that they were just being old, sentimental people, but it actually has been amazing, man. I'm loving being a dad. My little girl is gorgeous. She's happy and she's healthy and she's fat and in the good, healthy baby way. And I could not be happier about it, man. I think Karis was pregnant last time that I came on the show.
God bless, man.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree with that, by the way.
Went smoothly.
My opinions have also changed because when you're young, you're a teenager and everyone in your life tells you, oh yeah, you know, I know you don't want to marry now. And I know that the last thing you want on earth is a child, but trust me, it'll change. It'll change. That's what everyone in my life fucking told me. I was always like, no, I'm not going to change. I fucking hate kids. It's never going to change. I'm going to be by myself, 60 years old. I don't want fucking kids. Fuck that. Maybe some hot bitches, but that's it, bro. And then, yeah, you know, as you age, as you come closer to middle age or whatever the hell they call it now, yeah, it changes. All of a sudden,
Absolutely, man.
The idea of a kid is actually kind of nice and enticing and settling down.
I'm starting to find that cliches are cliches for a reason, you know, the stuff that the old people tell us. Now, of course, obviously, not everybody at my age, I'm 27 now, not everybody is going to be up and roaring and raring to have a kid or anything. We weren't planning on having a kid just yet, but we weren't trying not to, you know. But, man, it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm thrilled every single day, even when she's fussy and stuff like that, man. I'm absolutely loving it. Not to mention, I figured that I could probably Tom Sawyer her when she gets a little bit older and convince her that rune crafting and agility training on RuneScape is fun. Do it like as a reward. Like, did you do all your homework, Lennon? All right, you did all your homework. You can do 1 hour of agility on Daddy's account, I guess. Well, you were such a good girl. Yeah, pretty much. You were such a good girl today. I'm going to let you do an extra 30 minutes of agility. Yay, Dad. Just Tom Sawyer, you know, and trick her into thinking it's fun.
Good work,
that's
honey.
pretty much my game plan now.
You may do your chores now. Yes.
Yep. Do your chores on my account. I'll go load the dishwasher while you run agility. I'd rather do that any day of the week.
So Josh, you said or described yourself as a full-time RuneScape streamer. Does that pay the bills still?
Yeah, it's paying the bills, man. I mean,
full-time, but you know,
I don't have oh man, I'm sure Charlie would be making a killing right now. Leagues just came out. The game's actually popping. Asmongold from World of Warcraft just started playing old school. But yeah, man, it's paying the bills. I mean, I'm not rich or anything, you know what I'm saying? We don't just have an absolute ton of expendable income, but my wife can't work. She's taking care of the baby, and then we got COVID going on, so she had to quit her job. She was 7 months pregnant working at her job, and a guy came downstairs. This is the beginning of the pandemic. He comes downstairs to the hotel she was working at and was like, hey, I'm just going to hang out down here for a little while because I just found out that my roommate's got that corona thing that they're talking about, so I'm going to chill down here. And he's 2 steps away from a 7 months pregnant woman. At that point, she decided to go ahead and quit her job. So, yeah, I've got the bills covered, man. We don't have just an absolute. We're not rich by any means, you know, but it is taking care of the bills, and I'm absolutely blessed for that. It's kind of a grand irony in a lot of ways, and I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can. It's my favorite game. I still love it, you know, and I got a lot of notoriety in the community, to say the least.
So, is there a new one now? I was on Steam.
There's
the other day.
RuneScape 3. That's
No,
RuneScape 3.
Oh,
We don't talk
Okay.
about that.
but it's just called RuneScape though. On
Yeah,
Steam,
they call
at
that
least.
RuneScape. What I play is old school RuneScape. It's the classic version that
wait.
most of us tried when we were kids.
So why do we not talk about it?
It's
What
a
is your
World of
guys'
Warcraft
opinions?
clone. It's bad. It's pay to win, microtransactions. You know, it's. I'm not sure who you guys' sponsors are, so I'm not going to say any particular names. But it's kind of
It's
like
not
the new
RuneScape.
online.
You can talk RuneScape all you want. Don't worry.
It's not the no. I wasn't going to say RuneScape. I was going to say it's pretty much the PC equivalent of the most ambitious MMORPG of 2019. Sign up now for 100 free agility potions and 50 silver. That game that's on mobile now, if you guys know the popular sponsor. And I don't know, man. You can just pay to win. You can beat it with paying money, and they have a very, very small player base compared to ours. So I play the old school version.
Yeah. The RuneScape 3 is just not super fun from everything I've seen.
No, it's terrible, and they got a bunch of weird cosmetics, like strange rainbow zebra suits and stuff like that. Okay, well, that one sounded kind of cool. I just pulled it off the top of my head, but I don't know, man. It's bad. It just looks terrible. It's kind of like how people prefer classic WoW over retail. You know, it's just probably 50% nostalgia and 50% a chance to not have all the shit that you hated about the modern equivalent of a game.
Have Steam reviews now become the new Rotten Tomatoes? Because I'm on RuneScape, the page for the RuneScape 3,
no.
I guess, and the reviews say it's very positive. And I've seen this with
Good.
a bunch of games now where the reviews all say very positive, overwhelmingly positive, and then I give it a shot and it's fucking miserable.
It's not a Rotten Tomato effect. Rotten Tomatoes is like some real pretentious shit and people just bandwagoning something. On Steam, it's people that already like the game. So they're leaving the review. Like if you play RuneScape and you don't like it, you're probably not going to review it. You're probably not going to be like, yeah, I put 6 hours in the game and didn't like it. You'll just not think
The
about it.
whole old school community
Yeah.
was begging everybody not to go leave a terrible review bomb on it. You know, they were really trying that because it's still the same company. You know, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, and people might like RuneScape 3 and then decide to give old school a shot. It's still Jagex, it's still the same company. So we were really begging people not to do that. And it looks like it worked. If it has a good review, man, I'm glad to hear that. There's a few
That's how
people in my
aggregate
clan
reviewing
chat.
works in general. Most people who have a good experience aren't going to bother reviewing it because like they're just enjoying it and they don't care. But if you have a bad experience, you're like, I'm mad and I want to do something about it.
Yep.
I'll leave a bad review.
That is the sad part about it.
Some games now do the app thing where, you know, on your phone you can no longer install any app without it pestering you into reviewing it. You guys know that? The second
my
time you
God,
open the
no.
app, it's always, oh, give us 5
Would you like
stars
to
on
leave
the
us a
App Store,
5-star
please,
review
and
on
then
the
you
App
have to-
Store?
Huh?
Yeah, would you like to leave us a 5-star review on the App Store? Not now, damn it, stop.
Yeah, not now, don't ever. Don't remind me ever again. If I wanna, I will. Fuck off. PC games are doing this now. I was playing Tell Me Why, which is the new Don't Not game, the people who made the Life is Strange series, by the way. Miserable game. At the end of the chapter, it asks you to leave them a 5-star review. It gives you the option to. It's
Oh my God.
like, not only is your game insultingly bad, but now you're asking me to review it with 5 stars. Just go fuck yourself. Are you fucking... This is...
Advertisements have gotten very aggressive.
That's not really an
away.
advertisement. That's more just begging for reviews.
Right. Well, I was going to say advertising has gotten terrible. Please review our stuff has gotten really terrible. Like
Yeah.
the social media culture has really exploded while I was gone. It was something I noticed. Everything that you download now wants their reviews of it. Everywhere that you look, there's advertisements on everything, particularly advertisements saying rate our advertisement. I mean, it's all about the feedback now because they know, I guess, that stuff goes viral or whatever. And I guess they're hoping that somebody will say, you know what, I love this game so much, I'm going to leave it a 5-star review, and then I'm going to tweet about it, and then I'm going to put it on my gram. And I don't know, man, it's something I noticed is a lot different from whenever I was playing computer games back in 2012, 2011, you know?
Back when you were not, you know, pre you being in prison, we have unskippable 60-second advertising now in, you know, full-priced games. We talked about this, I think, either last week or the week before. If you download, what was it, guys? NBA 2K...
2K21, baby.
2K21, yeah, you get advertising that you can't skip, Josh. It's apparently just regular TV ads, and you can't skip them. Even though
Even
you
if you
paid
bought
$60
the
for the game. Yeah, full version. This isn't free to play. I understand when they used to do this shit with free to play games, you know, the JRPGs or JMMORPGs, whatever the fuck they called them. And, you know, if you're playing free to play, I get it. There can be ads, but you pay full price for this thing. Some kids, you know, younger kids especially, they save up their allowance, and after a couple of weeks, they finally shill out $60 or even more in some cases to a company to buy a game, and they still have to sit through advertising. Like
That's
they're watching
ridiculous,
TV.
man.
There's a big fucking difference in acceptability for free to play games. Like if the game is free, do whatever the fuck you want with ads. You can ask me to buy coins after every round. You can play the little ad in the corner. Who gives a fuck? It's a free game. I've lost nothing by playing it. But when you pay $60 for the game or any of this shit, it's
So,
like, oh,
To
God.
be fair, NBA 2K team has said it was an accident. It was a glitch that it allowed these unskippable ads to infiltrate. Yes.
We accidentally coded ads into our game that we knew you had to buy to unlock in the first place.
We accidentally left them in until somebody wrote an article about it too.
Yeah.
I believe that at complete face value.
They have said that they are working their absolute best to fix it. So any day now, I'm sure
to
it'll be
toggle the
fixed.
switch that
Any
they
day
literally
now.
could just turn off and on.
No, you don't understand how difficult it is. Some absolute monster hacker hacked into NBA 2K servers and put unskippable ads in their game.
Yeah.
What
And
a
they have to
douche.
catch him.
It was an accidental rape. I just slipped and fell right into her vagina and held her down and her mouth, and I muffled her and I hit her in the back of the head. You know, just accidents.
No,
Allegedly.
this was,
tell the
clearly
FBI
the,
that.
this was clearly the work of the wet bandit hackers. They ruining 2K's reputation.
Yeah, that sounds about like the FBI treatment right there. They gave you, it was an accident. We were just doing our job. Yeah, sure.
The prosecutor's son accidentally may have, seduced your girlfriend. Who knows? It's all rumors. Allegedly.
What a strange
Allegedly.
coincidence. Oh, yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
to say allegedly. Attention, everyone. Everything that I said was alleged. Keep that in mind. I'm not saying any wrongdoing occurred. Allegedly.
What do you guys think today is the single scummiest practice in gaming? At the top of your heads.
Ooh,
I just started
can
playing
immediately
Rust.
answer.
Okay,
But I think objectively the right answer is sports games. Just like the entire fucking genre of sports games is the worst practice ever. It's just copy and pasting the same game and having your dumb fucking communities defend it every year. Sports games.
I didn't realize they changed the rules of football. So I guess they're coming out with a new game now.
Yeah.
I was unaware of this. I thought it had been established for 150 years or something, but okay.
Fucking loot boxes in the sports games, releasing the same sports games every single year, copy and paste. It's fucking wild, and people will defend it till their death.
Oh my god, man. The only sports game I ever played was the original Blitz on Nintendo 64. That was just because you could beat the shit out of people after every play. That was like the only
Great game.
time that I've ever had fun on a sports game. I've never enjoyed sports game. Now that being said, my opinion is worth nothing because I play old school RuneScape, so I don't have much room to give an opinion on video games and what's good and what's bad. I just started playing Rust. I'm still behind on games, and that game is insane. I will say another bad tactic is just griefing people for no reason. But again, I play old school RuneScape. I can't
Buddy,
talk.
do not let people shame you for your taste. Just today, I spent about an hour trying to configure my router into letting me play Worms Armageddon online.
You are a
You like-
sick man, Kaya.
I don't know that game.
The heart wants what the heart wants. Okay.
I don't think I've heard of that game. I'm behind on most games.
What?
No, it's a
I invited you
2004
onto this
game.
podcast, and this is what. Oh, Josh, no.
Kaya
Sorry,
has this.
man.
Kaya
We're
has
gonna have
a
to delete
real.
this now.
He has a real problem with Worms Armageddon, man. There's something about that game that is
No.
tapped into every neuron in his fucking brain, and it's like the only
love
game he ever really thinks about.
Are you saying Worms?
Yeah.
Yeah, Worms Armageddon.
Worms Armageddon. Just want to make sure I had that right.
I'll let your faux pas here slide, Josh, because you've been in prison. But it's been out
Barely came
before
out
you
before.
were in prison. Yeah, so
I missed that one.
don't know.
I mean, I've always played old school games, so I'm surprised I didn't hear about it. When I got locked up, I was playing Counter-Strike 1.6 and Quake 3 Arena. So, I mean, I've always been behind the curve on video games anyways.
shame.
Yeah, but Worms Armageddon, it was never that popular. It's just something struck in Kaya's fucking neural pathways that had ruined him.
You got caught in a loop. You got Groundhog Day into it.
I guess it's because I'm mediocre at that game, which puts me in the top 1% of skill across the player base, I suppose. It's such a high level of entry alone. Just the effort that goes into figuring out to run the game, and then on top of that, putting in the 1 hour of tinkering with your Windows 10 and your router to try and go online. That, I don't know,
Wow.
it's just, I feel like lead hacker Neo seeing the Matrix running down in green little letters and Chinese symbols on my screen trying to make the game run.
I feel like
And when it
being
does-
the top ranked on that game is like being the principal of a homeschool.
I honestly don't know who the number one wormer in the world. I don't know. And the sad part is, just like the many mysteries of the universe, we're never going to know who the top Worms player on the planet is. Because
You know what
no
you should
one
do,
plays that
Kaya?
game competitively.
Kaya,
What?
but what if you held a big Worms tournament for like $1,000? That'd like reignite
I asked you to
the-
do that, asshole.
Count me
You
in.
actually have a platform.
I don't
You know
even
what
know-
happens when
I
I
don't know
stream,
how to
Charlie?
run.
I got like 7.5 viewers. What the fuck am I gonna do? I already play with my close friends. No one's gonna tune into the Kaya Orsan invitational only Worms Armageddon tournaments from where you need to download this. It's not even the invitational part of it that makes it a fucking event that nobody else get access to. It's the fact that even if I invited the entire official podcast fan bases, that they first have to figure out how to configure the routers to be able to connect to the fucking game.
That's why
I asked
why
you
I'm
to
saying
do that.
It needs to be the native community of the game, and the reason I'm not doing it is because I don't want to do that either. I don't want to reconfigure my fucking router.
I don't even know
It's such a-
how.
It's such
Count
a
me
fucking
out.
hassle. Just even when we played like 4 years ago, it was a hassle, and we played against the guy that's still running the original CD-ROM.
We did.
Oh, wow.
We didn't get to play. That's a part, though. I think if you
didn't
never
play.
met,
What do you mean?
No, okay. I
remember-
don't remember. I barely remember the guy's name. It was like Glass CD or something. Like it was like Glass Nuke.
It was,
And so
I think
Josh,
it was
we
Glass
booted
Nuke.
up this game. At the time, we were trying to play games together, the 4 official boys of us on YouTube or Twitch or something. And I convinced the guys to play Worms Armageddon with me. We all downloaded it. Okay, we're all in a lobby. This guy joins who, this game was released 2 decades ago. And he still has the original CD and a CD-ROM. People these days don't even have CD-ROM drives. Who the fuck still
What's
has
a
a
CD?
CD-ROM drive? Yeah, what is a CD? It's like an 8-track fucking cassette player at this point. It's ancient technology. You have to decipher hieroglyphs if you even buy that thing to be able to install it on your computer. And he just destroyed us. Round after round, we
I
never
would
got a
assume
single hit
so.
on the motherfucker.
He's about that life, man. I would assume so. He's like,
How
fuck
often do you-
Halo, fuck COD. I play Worms Armageddon, man.
oh yeah, that guy right there is definitely like in his mid-50s or something. And it's the only game that even works. But
Yeah.
Kaya, how often do you play Worms?
I used to play, so me and my buddies in my server, the Discord server, every weekend we just play games, and most often it would be Worms Armageddon. Just, like I said, among ourselves, because the second we invite anybody, so on Worms Armageddon you can make public lobbies and let anybody join, and the second we let anybody join, a master would join.
Of
There
course.
really is no in between. There is no amateurs playing Worms Armageddon these days. The second you make a public lobby on Worms Armageddon, you're going to get some elite fucking Navy SEAL, Worm SEAL, joining and destroying your entire team. And they talk shit too. It's not like they're humble or anything about it. They're like, okay, I see there's 4 players. How about we give each of you like 16 worms? I'll get 1 worm with 10% health. And then he kills
No
all of
chance.
us.
I remember the guy handicapped himself against us too. He would start
Ooh.
throwing his worms off the cliff and then just beat us with 1 worm.
He didn't give a shit.
My God.
Yeah, these guys were nuts. These guys were absolutely fucking nuts.
I mean, I feel like that's the way that it's going to go with any old game, you know? I mean, to use it as an example, again, old school RuneScape, they came out in 2003. I started in 2004. The average length of time that old school RuneScape players have been playing the game is like 12 years, 11 years, you know? That's just the average. So I myself started 16 years ago. I mean, that's going to be like that with any game, you know? Any game that's that old and still people are playing it, they've probably been playing it forever. I doubt that anybody new is getting into Worms Armageddon, you know? Especially if you have to reconfigure your fucking router.
Yep. I don't have the power, Charlie. Only you do. You're a big time
Nobody's
streamer now. Charlie, you don't know.
that's
Look,
playing that game
AOC
actively even knows what streaming is.
Charlie, nobody knew what Among Us was, and the next thing you know, fucking AOC is playing Among Us, okay? You don't know. Maybe you and I
Oh,
can
I
start
love
playing
Among Us.
Worms Armageddon, and fucking Trump is gonna come out and play with us. You don't know. Let's just try.
You never know who's out there until you put it, you know, you gotta put the flag
Yeah.
out there, man. You gotta call them. You call them, they'll come. As far as I can tell by the chat, nobody plays it though, for what it's worth.
Nobody. Literally nobody plays Worms Armageddon. It's Kaya and like 15 dudes that all use the CD-ROM in like an old 1999 Dell or something.
I never
13
noticed
of which
until
are
you
my
said it.
friends.
I don't have a CD-ROM drive on my PC either. I didn't even notice until
Nobody
you said
does.
it.
No one does.
Yeah, that's a lost art right there because I just now noticed. I never even thought about it because I don't have to think about it, but I don't have a CD-ROM drive.
I built a PC. Not only did I not get a CD-ROM drive, but obviously you can install Windows from a flash drive now. And I was looking up guides for how to build your PC because I had never done it before. And it said, okay, you need at least 8 gigabyte flash drive to make a Windows installation flash drive or whatever. So I went on Amazon, typed in. You can't even get 8 gigabyte flash drives anymore. That's how out of date I felt. It's like, okay, would you like a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte flash drive?
I was about to say, it's probably
like, holy
terabytes.
shit. Yeah, it's impossible. Oh, would you like a zettabyte? A Googlebyte?
Oh my god.
Gigabyte? What's that? What are you, fucking mommy?
Yeah, they don't operate in gigs anymore.
Now, Kaya, when you were shopping for all these things, did you start sweating from all the choices? Like,
No,
really,
not only
really
did I
start
start
getting
sweating.
dehydrated?
Andrew, I'm always fucking dehydrated. I don't fucking drink a whole lot of
Yeah,
water.
me too, actually.
I started sweating.
Video games.
I got nervous. I got shaky hands. Like, oh my god, Jesus Christ! All of these options and choices, and now they're telling me that if I don't ground myself, I'm at a fucking wreck my motherboard and my graphics card or whatever. So I started drinking to make my hands less shaky, and then so what happened? Obviously, the next day I wake up all discombobulated, hungover, but thankfully there was a fucking solution. Liquid IV. They sponsor us. So I went to my goddamn fridge. So Andrew, tell them how they saved my life, possibly.
Kaya, I've been feeling similar issues to you. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know if the world out there is changing real hard, but I have been so goddamn dehydrated and dry feeling for the last couple months. I have been fucking slambasting hydration products. And let me tell you something. I've tasted a lot. I've also tasted Liquid IV. Liquid IV is pretty fucking tasty. But I'm also excited for the future because Liquid IV is looking to experiment with some crazy new flavors coming out soon, including guava, watermelon, and the one that's piqued my curiosity, apple pie. You get to try some delicious apple pie flavored hydration drink, but only if you go the route of Liquid IV. Liquid IV's one serving contains the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water. What makes it so effective? Cellular Transport Technology, or CTT for short. It's an optimal ratio of glucose, sodium, and potassium that delivers water and nutrients into the bloodstream.
Electrolytes, bitch.
One stick. Yeah, science. One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water gives 3 times the hydration of plain water. It's science. Liquid IV is also on a mission to change the world. The company has donated over 6.7 million servings globally. In response to COVID-19, their products are being donated to hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, active U.S. military, and more, with over 3 million servings in total so far for that effort. Liquid IV is also available nationwide at Walmart in the beverage section, but that's boring. Going to Walmart is boring. Going to the big, massive, sprawling store and having to find it and locate it and look for it and going, is this Liquid IV?
Sick?
Oh, this is the generic brand of IV liquid. I don't want that. No, you could be a future person. You could be someone without a CD drive and order on the internet. And you can get 25% off when you order on the internet by going to liquidiv.com and using code official at checkout. And that's 25% off of anything you order on their website, as long as you use promo code official. Go to liquidiv.com for better hydration today. Use promo code official and get 25% off of anything your heart desires. Go nuts. Go wild. Stop being so dry. Charlie has made an entire brand moniker off of the word moist, and you can be more like him utilizing Liquid IV's hydration technology using promo code official at liquidiv.com.
Hydrate, bitches.
Moist meter 1000%.
It's literal science. What, are you going to refute science? What are you, fucking moron? Go drink.
And play Worms Armageddon.
No, don't do the last part.
Did Charlie leave to take a shit?
I think he said that he could not hold his shit, so...
Are y'all trolling him, or did he really say that?
No, he said I can't hold this shit, and he has gone to take a shit.
Oh, I thought he meant he had something to get off of his chest. Oh my god, man.
Nah, let's do another good topic, and then we can wrap it up if he's not back.
Sounds good.
Have you guys seen people are mad at Elon Musk now? For
when have they not been mad at Elon Musk?
Fair, but there's some good reasons
aware.
to be mad at Elon Musk, and then there's bad reasons. So a bad reason for it, and okay, let's start with the good reasons. A good reason to be mad at Elon Musk would be, his.
Is this a Dr. Seuss book?
Yeah, well,
a good reason to be bad, or to be bad and glad is.
It's just me stuttering. But a good reason would be, the rights his workers get at the factories and the way he gets his lithium. A bad reason is, the recent reason, SpaceX said that if they make it to Mars first, that they would get to set the rules on Mars. So they wouldn't be bound by any Earth government rules. And people were, for some reason, angry at this. Very much so. A bunch of journalists wrote articles about how dare he make the statements that if he gets to Mars first and colonize it, he would get to make the laws on Mars and yada yada. How do you guys feel?
I mean, naturally, the way that it worked, if I'm not mistaken, in the old times, whenever you claimed a new country or something like that and stuck your flag in it, you were still under the law and rule of your home country. So that doesn't really seem to make sense to me.
Oh, no, okay. I disagree then.
Well, doesn't that go against the international treating? I forgot what it's fucking called, but it basically said space is like not allowed to be claimed by anybody.
Oh, I think so, actually. I think you're right. I think celestial bodies are not allowed to be claimed by individuals or countries even.
There's some international treaty. It's got a big fancy name, but it literally decreed back when we were doing the fucking moon race. It was like, look, man,
just because you
can go to the moon and say you were first, but
right.
You're literally not allowed to claim shit that's in space. It's like that's for everybody.
But at the same time, I guess in this, the metaphor here, the parallel might perhaps be that he himself is basically the king that's sending the expedition in this instance.
Yes.
I mean, he's the one that's getting them there, and nobody else can get there without him. So, I mean, it's got to kind of, I mean, how the hell are they going to stop him going to space? Are going to send a space force after him? I mean, who's going to stop him,
So, several points. I first want to read this one tweet from someone called Carolyn Porco. Said, SpaceX will make its own laws on Mars and not recognize international laws. Proof that the kind of excess wealth that leads to power and influence leads also to unrestrainable, blinding hubris and arrogance and thence to evil. This must be stopped now. So I give Carolyn extra points for using the word thence to make herself sound smart, but we also have to focus on the word hubris here. This guy and his company, if they manage to colonize Mars, let them make the rules. That's how, as Josh said, in all of human history, the conqueror kind of gets to set the rules.
Yeah.
Right?
In this case, he would be the conqueror.
Plus, more importantly, what do you think he's gonna do? Like, Elon Musk's billion-dollar company, which only, exclusively has shareholders on Earth, is going to send people to Mars. He's gonna, establish Mars colony, maybe a factory or something. Then what? He's gonna make murder legal? He's gonna make rape legal?
Right, yeah.
You think that's what's gonna happen?
He would absolutely do some dumb shit like that, though.
He would,
100% is like
he
a
would
meme.
make some dumb shit like, every employee must, every Sunday they must share their favorite memes. But he's not going to make rape and murder legal. What the fuck he's not going to make stealing legal. What is their problem? He's not going to handicap his own company even if he does colonize Mars.
For what it's worth, I feel like a large part of this could be the simple fact that we don't know what challenges and things are going to be presented once they get there. We're not sure how they might need to bend the rules. It's a little inconceivable to us, I mean, I can't imagine it would be too terribly different. Let's share what we got, take care of each other, uplift each other. I mean, I've read The Martian, right? It should be pretty similar to that, but with multiple people.
The Martian, right?
So we're going to be growing potatoes out of our shit.
I mean, probably. I would assume
Someone's
so, yeah.
got to do it.
Human fertilizer,
Matt Damon's going to be the first one to colonize Mars
Oh,
using
that'd be
shit
Still stuck on
potatoes.
that. We have to
Poetic.
save him.
Serious question,
never
though,
left.
Serious question to those who are angry at this. What possible law is Elon Musk or his company, I guess, or the board of directors, going to enact on Mars that you would hate? There's nothing on Mars besides
can't
rock.
imagine.
What do you care?
Well, he could bring illegal things to Mars and start doing them.
Oh, yeah,
Like
doing
what?
weed on Mars.
We're going to smoke a doobie on Mars.
The war on
Yeah.
Mars drugs. Yes.
Oh,
That'd be
God.
huge.
Yeah.
The
An
Martian herb.
intergalactic drug war.
I'm still on Elon's side then. The motherfucker is clearly pro-weed. He just went on Rogan and fucking smoked dope with no care for his stock price or anything. So I'm still on his side. I don't care. Legalize all drugs on Mars. What do I care?
Have you ever smoked DMT on Mars?
I mean, the problem is, though, Kaya, that we don't know what he's entirely into. He could be doing some heinous shit right now that we don't know about, and then he wants to do it on Mars, where no one will ever catch
I
him.
guess that's a good point, is that it could
But
come
then
out of the woodwork
no one's
once
caught
he's
him
there.
here either then.
So your fear is that, for example, like just pulling this out of my ass, he could sell $1 billion tickets to billionaires to go to Mars and legally fuck children or something.
Yeah. What's to
But
stop
it wouldn't
him?
be legal when they came back to Earth.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but no one would know it's happening on Mars.
Would he have diplomatic immunity because he's from another planet now or something, you know? He can do
To be
whatever the hell he
fair,
wants.
though,
he shuttles billionaires to Mars, lets them fuck kids, at the same time gives them Martian citizenship, and once they're back on Earth, they have legal immunity.
I
See,
see,
that's what we're trying to prevent. Now you get it.
Oh.
But I feel like it'd be a dead giveaway. Like if you have a bunch of children going to Mars, followed by a bunch of old men, like wouldn't you like
Can
connect
you
dots?
imagine the fucking fallout and devastation of Earth if we suddenly just discovered and found out that Mars is the world's largest pedophile island?
I love the idea just of a bunch of stowaway children hidden in boxes in the next shuttle to Mars is just sex trafficking.
They're constantly hiding
organization.
away and behind the rover and hiding all of their fucking dealings.
Multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit in 50 years from the Mars kids.
Suing the entire planet of Mars.
Oh, God. I'm calling legislation against
Oh,
Mars.
fuck.
They allegedly, tampered with me.
Allegedly.
They
yeah,
got
sure.
away with it, too.
And Mr. Elon Musk had a bunch of old fat billionaires shuttled in to rape me and molest me.
Well, I believe it. So you're guilty. And the FBI steps up like, no. He didn't do none of that. Hold up.
God damn. Well, whatever. You know, I've always been critical of Elon Musk, but I feel like if you plant the flag on Mars, you kind of get to call the shots. It's fine.
I agree.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, once I thought of it from the topic of, or from the point of he's basically the king and the conqueror in this case, and I mean, that goes with the old laws of it, I mean, why the hell do we even call America America for what it's worth? You know what I'm saying? Because they came over here, shoved the flag in it and said, fuck everybody that lives here, fuck everybody that feels differently, this shit's ours. And then they coughed
it
on a
has
bunch of
been
Native
tradition.
Americans and killed everybody. Yeah, it's just the tradition, man, especially the American tradition. I mean, come on.
No, that's what every nation has always done. It's the human tradition. It's ingrained in all of us, not just Americans. Don't fucking count me out here. We're the Ottoman Empire. I mean, we were once the biggest empire on earth. We conquered
Very true.
places and just raped and pillaged our way into being the biggest empire on earth for a while.
Once you got there and you got your roots down, it was yours.
It didn't last that long, but at the end of the day, that's what people do. So, on Mars, there doesn't even seem to be life that can possibly suffer. So,
Well, then if America wants to attempt a coup d'etat, and go up there and kick his ass and take his land, I mean, that's the old way. So, we don't like the way you're running
fucking
shit. We're going to go
CIA
up there and behead you. It's been that way for, hundreds, if not thousands of years. We don't like the leader. We're going to go up there and stop him. All right. Well, the Elon Musk revolution has begun.
If we have a
How
spare
are they gonna
planet,
get him?
why not? That's another point, right? I mean, what if he makes a little Dr. Wily's castle on Mars?
First thing he does is put down like anti-aircraft turrets all over Mars so nobody can come stop him. As soon as he gets there, he's got Tesla brand anti-aircraft.
I hope he weaponizes Mars so hard, turns it into a fucking Death Star. That'd be amazing.
With a little skull-shaped castle and 8, robot
A
masters.
castle, like a big skull-shaped castle, but it's Elon Musk's personal face. So you're flying into like a giant monument to Elon Musk.
Yeah, like Dr. Evil's volcano with the pinky, but it's Elon
like
Musk.
fucking Dr. Wily. He's making robot masters if you ever try to fight him.
Whoever is the American president in like the year 3000, he's like sending off Mega Man. Mega Man, your mission is to go to Mars and defeat Dr. Musk.
The half cyborg overlord known as Elon Musk. He immortalized himself to rule Mars with an iron fist.
At that point, Elon is just a brain in a liquid vat. He's calling himself Mother Brain.
All right, I'm starting to like where this is going. I hope he does take that
Me
bitch
too.
over. You convinced me. I can be convinced, all right?
I want
A
to
truly
join
wise
it, actually.
person can be convinced that they were wrong. I was wrong. Let him have it. Hell yeah. I'm about it. I hope he gets up there and runs that shit.
Yep.
He said, somebody in the chat said, I am the Senate. Elon Musk. Elon Musk, 3033. I don't know. I mean, I remember whenever I was locked up, I saw articles about how they were doing like a one-way trip to Mars or something like that. Like basically put a bunch of people on a ship and just slam it into Mars. I thought that would have been kind of cool, to be honest with you. I mean, at least at that point in my life, I didn't have kids and a wife yet or anything, you know, but I thought that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if that's still his company or not, but two-way trips would probably be better.
He should really do what they did in Prometheus. Just send like a couple of humans to some weird planet and have them kill themselves to like spread their DNA across the planet to
like plant the seed.
Life. Yeah,
plant a seed for life with all that like biological material that could possibly mutate into something. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what the plan was with them slamming a ship into it.
That's what I've always said. I really don't like this idea that, you know, astronauts land on a planet and they have to remain in their spacesuits so in order they don't spread their germs and affect the biome of the planet. Fuck you. If you find a puddle of water on Mars, are we terraforming it or not? Are we the dominant species in the universe or not? If you find a puddle of water on Mars, drop some fungus in it. Put some seaweed in that bitch.
At least
let's
get
the
it or
ball
something.
rolling.
I still think I was onto something if we just sent like a giant missile of cum out into space to try and fertilize planets. I really think that's the right call.
I mean, there'd have to be at least some eggs or something with it, though, right? I mean, you can't just shoot a bunch of skeet out there and expect it to get the planets pregnant or anything, right?
But we
you
don't know that.
That's true. I mean, it hasn't been tested.
We don't know that, but I'm with Josh here, so let's at least include some eggs or just let's harvest women for their wombs and put them on the space shuttle with the sperm.
I knew it. He's a puppet for Elon. He's a puppet for Elon Musk, guys. We caught him.
I don't own stock in Tesla.
I disagree. No, I'm just kidding.
It's crashing, by the way, so everyone go support Elon in this machine.
Everyone go buy some stock in this After Effect world that we're describing here. Well, what happens though? Maybe something they're thinking about is if he gets that powerful and he has a base that nobody can infiltrate or something like that. How do we know he's not going to like build the Halo and try to take over Earth or something? You know, where could it go from there? Then it's going to be war, Mars versus Earth. The worst part of all this is if it happens, I'm not going to live to see it.
Yeah, that is the worst part.
I read the Red Rising trilogy when I was locked up. That was basically interplanetary war. That shit was sick. I mean, and now I'm not going to be able to see it after reading about it.
But you can be part of the men who provide the seed, per se, the cum, to put on the initial rocket to impregnate the planet.
That's what I'm saying.
They should build statues of all the guys who jacked off in the pod. You know, they're like the founding fathers.
Our own golden record. Fucking NASA's out there sending rockets into space and settled it. But they called it the golden record or something, right? It has a diagram of the female and male body and fucking music recordings and math. And whatever. Just send a vial of our cum, collective cum.
Like if they want to keep sending rovers and shit, I'm fine with it as long as it has like a cum hose where they could like look at things that might be suitable and they just blast it.
Put a little silicone penis on the rover too.
Yeah,
I would really hope that they would. Go ahead.
If any alien species ever comes across our rover or discarded satellites, they can at least suck us off and get the cum out of it or something. Build that in.
I would hope that if they did send out just a huge vial of male semen into space, hopefully male semen, not, horse or something, that they would use that big giant dildo that Charlie just got. I just think that would be fitting. Just slap that thing on the front of the rocket and just launch it towards, Mars or Venus or something.
I don't think it needs to be aimed
like
at anything
lens.
in particular. I think you just do it like a wide net shotgun where you send the missile out of the atmosphere and like when it passes the moon, it just explodes and sends semen in every direction across the galaxy.
We're going to need like at least a tablespoon from every living human, but I think that's a pretty viable chance actually.
I really think it would go very well. Like even if it lands on an asteroid, like maybe some life grows on the asteroid.
And then that's technically alien life, just saying.
Exactly.
Even if it's stemmed from our DNA.
Might be onto something.
NASA did release a video too of one of their satellites or whatever, their shuttles landing on an asteroid. Have you guys seen that recently?
No, I actually didn't get to see it yet.
Yeah,
I remember something about they said they were going to try to mine it.
No, I don't even remember what the fucking point of it was, but they released a video of one of their little space things landing on an asteroid for a couple of seconds and then taking off again. Just leave leave something, some cum.
That's what I'm
Put it
saying,
down
man.
there.
I don't know.
It'll be so in a sperm bank when you cum, they freeze your cum, right? That's how it's
Right.
preserved. Well, in space, it's cold enough. You don't even need to take any precautions. Just spray some cum on the asteroid and let it be on its way.
It'll be frozen until the asteroid gets too close to a star like our sun, and it thaws out, and some beautiful little species of alien life starts to breed, and they're like, oh my god, we're alive, and then they smash into the sun. It's pretty terrible, man.
Out there right now are things we call exoplanets, where the atmosphere is close to that of Earth. Maybe there are dinosaurs, I don't know. But they're waiting to be wiped out by an asteroid. That asteroid should better be carrying our cum on it
It should be dripping.
so that life can continue.
Yeah, it should
That's all
definitely
I'm
be
saying.
dripping when it gets there, right? Maybe that's what happened with our extinction, with the dinosaur extinction here. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe there was a bunch of skeet all over that asteroid whenever it landed, wiped out the dinosaurs and planted the humans. You never know.
Operation Asteroids Bukkake. We can call it that.
Ugh.
This is pretty
Colonize
cool.
Mars.
I looked up the asteroid thing. Apparently, there's an asteroid that's worth 10,000 quadrillion dollars because it's made entirely out of unique metal.
Yeah, that's what I was
awesome.
thinking whenever I said I think they did the experiment so they could see if they could mine them. It's because they're like the most rare, valuable metals in the known universe, I guess I should say.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Like one of those asteroids is worth more than the entire planet's, cash and gold and whatever you want to call it and assets.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be really hard to mine this in space, but if we just hit it with cum, maybe it mutates into a sentient being and it just, like, willingly comes to Earth to share with us.
it'll get the fuck out of there.
It
and
goes
come
on a
to
journey
Earth.
to find its dad, comes to Earth,
Exactly, yeah.
and wants to go on the Maury show and find out who impregnated it so it comes to Earth, and then we're all rich. That's how it's going to work.
Oh,
We're throwing some pretty good ideas against the wall here.
No.
I think this can
awesome.
work, guys.
Yeah. Let's fuck space.
To get back to the original point, I'm all for it now. You convinced me, man. Let Elon Musk stick a flag in Mars. I don't care. I've been convinced. An open-minded person can be convinced that he was wrong. I was wrong. Let him run that bitch.
Thank you. That's why you're my favorite guest.
then the plot twist is that he's the father of the entire new planet.
No.
The Elon
it has
Muskers
be a
go to
mix.
war against Earth. Yeah, no. Otherwise, it's just inbreeding in the second generation. I don't think I support second generation inbreeding. I think I'm gonna have to get off board with that part. So,
If we can somehow make it so it's all the new species is a mongrel of all our collective cum, then yes, let's do it.
I mean that'd be the way to do it. I mean, like, whenever we evolved to have sexual reproduction, I mean, it was shuffling the deck of cards for DNA every time. So hopefully they won't all look like Elon Musk and have that good little smug smirk that he's got all the time. Imagine an entire planet with that.
I hope some of them look like sweaty, hairy Turkish men. That's all I can dream of. And I think we
know
can
who
wrap it
fathered
up
them.
with that imagery. Sweaty, hairy Turkish Martians.
That's a good way to go out.
That is a
Yeah.
great way to go out.
Do you want to wrap us up, Andrew?
Unfortunately, Jackson's not here to do it. Well, hopefully next time we record, Jackson won't be dead. But Josh, we would all like to, of course, thank you for coming on again.
Pleasure as always.
One of
and
our
shut your shit out.
favorite guests, and yeah, go ahead and plug your shit.
Oh yeah, I stream full time, guys. I play old school RuneScape, but even if you don't play RuneScape, man, you can come hang out. We'll shoot the shit, prison stories. I'll tell you all the juicy details about the boys from the official podcast. My Twitch is twitch.tv/jpillault. I know that's a doozy. It's just my first initial and then my last name. I know that third L messes everybody up. We just started a RuneScape podcast I'm having a great time with, so feel free to join our Discord. I'm going to put it in the chat real quick in case anybody wants to join our Discord. Oh, it got blocked. I forgot. I got a
Send me the
YouTube
link,
channel,
I'll
Josh
put it in
Pillault,
there.
man. Okay, thank you. I basically right now, man, the main thing that I'm on is streaming, having a great time streaming. So please, guys, be sure to come hang out with me, twitch.tv/jpillault. Check out the YouTube. And that's about it, man. I love streaming. I love you probably can't tell from this podcast because I love shooting the shit with these guys, but I'm really a positive minded guy. I'm all about it. I like, recognizing mistakes we made in our lives to move forward and move past things that we've done to help us actually become good people. Not that I'm a good person, but I'm working on it. And I think you'll find a lot in my streams, guys, like that. And I try to respond to every single chat message. So big thank you guys for letting me on the show again. I always love shooting the shit with you dudes. I think it's a good fit. And I would like to officially petition for if Jackson ever retires or does not get his internet turned back on. My name starts with J. It's still the Jack Off Podcast. I would be a perfect fit. And I can actually shut my mouth more when I'm not a guest. If I was a host, I would be more quiet. But I got to try and get in my 2 cents whenever I'm just a guest. You know what I'm saying? But I love you guys, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on here. And thank you to everybody who's listening. Thank you for supporting them on Patreon. Thank you, guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
So,
It's
so
always
nice.
lovely having you on, man.
And for those of you listening out there, friendly reminder, we are on all sorts of audio platforms, and we were also on patreon.com/the official podcast if you want to go ahead and support us. And for $5, you can get yourself some nice little bonus episodes. I don't know if there's anything else that Jackson normally says here. Him being gone is really throwing me off my fucking rhythm.
Yeah, we don't really need him.
think
He
I miss
doesn't really
anything?
add anything crucial, does he?
I'll study the part. Don't worry. I'll study the part. I'll learn my
No,
role.
I'm just
Don't
kidding.
worry.
He usually also adds that
love
we
you,
have
Jackson.
merch. He adds that we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us a good review, and that we on Patreon have now yearly plans where you get a slight discount if you subscribe for the whole year. So Jackson hopefully will not be dead next time, and we'll be back with the original cast. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye,
Thank you, guys.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.